Man, dog, what's up, man? What's good with everybody, man? Look, man, I know we've been going for a while, man. You know what I'm saying? It's going for the gusto, baby. We about to be back soon, man. I wanted to give everybody an update. Had a couple people reach out asking what's going on with us. Um, as y'all can see, my background look a little different because I made a big boy move in life. So I moved to a whole nother state. So just kind of making moves, man, making gains, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what's good. That's what going for the gusto is all about. The team's still there. We still talk, but we all just doing separate things. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're getting older, gotta make stuff happen. So that's really what been going on with the team, man. Um, I'm gonna say starting next week, we should be back to dropping content regularly, at least once a week. Being that the football season is gearing back up, we're gonna try to get back up to two a week, maybe even three times on some weeks, because we do want to try to get, um, excuse me, we do want to try to get our fantasy football, um, ones up. We want to get, the NFL content that we always bring, the college content, a little bit of the high school. So we're just trying to get the whole thing together, honestly. Um, but I saying next week we should be ready to ramp back up. Trying to get these videos out to y'all like on schedule. So we all can watch them. We appreciate it. We appreciate everybody who subscribed so far. We appreciate everybody that actually tune into the videos all the time. Much appreciated. Much love to all of y'all. Um, like I said, the crew, man, is still the crew, man. Everybody down had, some kind of significant thing happen, man, in life and, for the better. So, that's what we all about, man. Like I said, we just appreciate everything, man. I don't know if this is gonna be my new permanent recording spot. Haven't figured that out just yet, but we here today. And what I want to do is just this was a quick update. But I do want to give y'all a little football talk. And since ain't really no topics, I'm gonna just talk about what been going on, like in the media, just stuff that we've been hearing about, just a couple of quick things. So first thing is Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook got released by the Vikings. It wasn't super surprising to me because I saw his carries go down a lot. He was still averaging over 4 yards a carry, but the amount of carries, I guess the team just felt like he couldn't handle it anymore. I think Dalvin Cook is still a good back. I think if he goes to a team with a good situation, I think a perfect situation would be like the Chargers, but I don't see how the money part will work because you would have like Austin Eckler, or maybe he can go to like a Saints team where he, rather than getting 25, 30 carries, he's only getting like 16 to 20. And then you have a bona fide receiving back on the team, so he don't got to worry about getting hit, catching the ball. And that also receiving back can also get 10 to 15 carries on top of that, so then you'll just be inside a good situation. So that's just two teams that kind of off the top of my head without really thinking about it. I'm just thinking of teams that already got a nice receiving back and could use somebody. Money wise, it's kind of up in the air. I really don't know how much people are willing to pay Dalvin Cook because they already don't like to pay running backs. So on top of that, them not really paying running backs, you gotta think about like how many years he actually got left. I think it'll be smart for him to sign a 1 year or 2 year deal. I think he get a lot of money for a 1 year deal. If he going for a 4 year deal, probably not. But if he want to do like a 1 year deal, I think it's best to just try to do a 1 year or 2 year deal and try to max it out. If I was him, that's what I would do. But I think he still got some left in the tank. Um, Obviously he don't got as much burst as he once had because them hits and everything is weighing on him now. But I do think, man, he can be a useful person on any team. He can still be a starter. And if you don't want him to be a starter, having him as a secondary back is crazy. Like you'll see a lot more explosion and everything out of him because he's used to getting the bulk of the carries. So Dalvin Cook, man, I like him as a player. I liked him since he came out of college. You know what I'm saying? So I wish the best for him. You got Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs and the whole Josh Allen Stephon Diggs thing. I think people thinking too deep into it. I think it's just him being frustrated that, like, in the big moments, in the big playoff games, they seem to come up short. Because when you look at his stats, you look at his numbers. His numbers are huge. It's a huge difference from, because we all knew Stephon Diggs was talented when he was in Minnesota, right? But he was secondary to Thielen at the time. Thielen was technically number one, and he was technically number two, and he had a couple 1,000-yard seasons. But since he's been in Buffalo, then you see the 1,300, the 1,500-yard seasons. The amount of catches is out of the wazoo. So he can't be complaining about the targets. He can't be complaining about the stats. I think he complaining, like, when the game is on the line, he think the ball should come to him. And I think that's, part of that is coaching. Part of that is Josh Allen understanding that because the game is on the line, the coverage is going to him as well. So Josh Allen might be thinking, well, the number two guy is going to have a one-on-one because the coverage is going this way because you're the guy they're expecting to get the ball. I think it'll be a huge difference. They got Dalton Kincaid in the draft, and having that tight end can change a lot because they never really had a consistent tight end. So now when your number one is getting a double team, if Dalton Kincaid pans out to be the player people expect him to be, now he might get double teams in those clutch moments in the 3rd and 7 trying to win the game because he's a big body coming across the middle of the field. And that's the throw you want to go to. You know what I'm saying? So for him, he might be like, dang, like I got Dalton Kincaid. Now when Stephon, now he might get a one-on-one because the safety creeping up. Or if it ain't a one-on-one, that safety playing a little further back because he's trying to decide who he gonna cover. So I think this is just frustration, and it'll work itself out. I don't see no trade or none of that coming because Stephon Diggs is smart enough to know if he goes to another team, his numbers ain't gonna be nowhere near. Like, he's putting up Hall of Fame numbers since he's been on the Bills, and I'm pretty sure being a Hall of Fame is on his mind. So he gonna stay there so he can keep getting his stats. And but every player wants to win. Eventually, you be like, man, I want to win. But I don't think he's at that stage of his career yet where he's 32 or 33, and he's like, all right, I gotta go someplace where I can win. I know I won't be number one no more, but I want to just win. So I think he's not there yet. I think he's still at the top. He's still, I don't know. I've seen some shows where there's like he might be arguable. He's a top 5 receiver in my opinion. Like, clear cut, concise. There is not 5 receivers in the NFL better than him, no matter how you slice it. Some people say, well, I'm not a stats guy. If you don't even go off stats, just route running, he is the only person you want to argue is Devontae Adams as far as route running itself. Maybe you want to say Justin Jefferson, hands, and you want to argue DeAndre Hopkins, but you're only arguing with the elite of the elite. He's not no tier 2 receiver playing tier 1. He's a clear-cut tier 1 receiver. You don't have like over 100 catches and 1,500 yards on accident. That's not like you have that talent, and he's done it multiple years in Buffalo. So I think he's a pure number one. I think Josh Allen is a pure, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. They have a good thing going. It's just frustrations in the offseason. And Buffalo is one of them teams that as long as you got Josh Allen and he got Stephon Diggs, they always got to fight. They always got a dog in the fight. So you never know. So speaking of that, that'll bring me up to DeAndre Hopkins just because I was just talking about him. DeAndre Hopkins being released. Everybody knew he wanted to get out of Arizona. I'm not sure why. DeAndre Hopkins is a weird case because he's one of those receivers that put up numbers no matter where he's at. Because his skill set is not about like getting open or play calling. His skill set is contested catches. So no matter who the quarterback is, if the ball is in the vicinity and it's DeAndre Hopkins versus whoever, you're going to believe DeAndre Hopkins is going to come down with the ball. So that's where his value lies in. And like when you got a quarterback when you got a wide receiver like that, any quarterback can just throw the ball in his direction and he'll fight for it and come down with it. I saw teams. I saw something about he tweeted one time about going to Dallas. I think that ship has sailed because they got Brandon Cooks. Looking at some other teams, the Titans could really use him, but I don't think he wants to go there because the Titans are in a spot where they don't really know who's their number one quarterback going forward. So they're kind of up in the air. So I think that for him at the stage he's at in his career, I don't think he wants a quarterback to develop. Now, I'm a believer that, you let a person play and see how they play out. But in his mind, he probably wants a more established situation. I saw they said New England was a place that he was highly considering. I think New England is a really good place for him because he goes there and he's still automatically number one. And I know a lot of people don't think about that, but I know that weighs on the receivers' minds, right? Like, you want to be you want to win, but you want to be number one because it's hard to go from being the star to no longer being the star. Like, you hear, people in any sport talk about it, right? No matter if you're doing an individual sport like track, where you hear Usain Bolt talk about he stopped running because he couldn't be the best anymore. Or you hear like boxers talk about it, basketball players, you go from being the star to being a six man. It happens in every sport. I think DeAndre Hopkins still has something to give. And I think in New England, they're going to try to get him the ball. So he's going to be, you know what I'm saying? That's like the best wide receiving threat. Like outside of tight end since they had since Randy Moss. Now, I mean, obviously Randy Moss is, top 3 receiver all time. So I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that gives him that. Now, the weird thing is with Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi. I think he makes whoever is starting, he makes them better by having a target like that. But I think New England is a pretty solid place for him to land. I think New England is a well-coached team, defensively, of course. Offensively, they struggle sometimes, but you add him, they go from 8 wins to 10, 11 wins easily because in certain games, if you just had a guy to go to, even when the offense is sputtering and not doing good, you got a guy, you could go to. Having that, it just helps. So that's another thing to talk about. I saw Tyreek Hill was talking about like his retirement, like how he had limited years left. I wouldn't fall into that. I think Tyreek Hill is one of those guys that he likes to stardom. He he likes to be a star, and he's dreading the days when he's no longer the fastest person or the most elite person. Like he's dreading walking into those days. So I think that's where the retirement stuff come in. You see that with players all the time when players talk about retiring. We saw Giannis say something like he was about to retire the season before they won the championship, and then now he won the championship. It's a whole different story. So it's like I think Tyreek Hill is like, I went to Miami for the money, but now I don't know if we're gonna be the team like the team we had with the Chiefs when I knew for a fact we had a chance to win the Super Bowl every year because we got Patrick. Like I think he's just kind of going through that phase. But I think when you love the sport that much, like you go out on your shield, man. You play until your body literally say, bro, you can't do it no more. So I think Tyreek Hill got years still left in the league. I think he just kind of doing that. To be honest, I'm trying to think of anything else that I've been seeing in the kind of circling around lately about certain players. I saw Frank Clark went to the Denver Broncos. I think that's solid. I think Frank can do something on that team. But speaking of Denver, they got to make it happen this season for everybody, for Russ, for like Sean Payton, this is a leap, you know what I'm saying? A leap of faith for everybody, and they got to make it work because if they don't make it work, they might have to blow the whole thing up. I mean, like, and you give away so much draft picks and so much draft capital, because in football it's so like when you got a young stars at any position, you got to make it kind of count then because ain't no guarantee when a player turns 27, 28, he'll be the player he once was. So, Denver got to try to figure it out. turn it around, see what they can do. But all in all, I'm super excited for this football season. I think a lot of people are overrating certain teams and underrating other teams. When it comes to football, every season is a new season in the NFL. Um, and college too, but and mainly in the NFL because you got trades, you get contracts. People just get a year older, and you don't know if they're gonna be as great as they was the year before. You don't know what kind of nicks and injuries. People have these off-season surgeries. You don't know how they come back. Like, how are they looking? How are they feeling? You know what I'm saying? Like, talk about my team. Chase Young. It's like, is he gonna come back and light it up? I mean, we don't know. Every season is a new season. It's a lot of young quarterbacks that I think gonna get a chance to to get out there and start, and we get to see how they actually play when they get the playing time. They get to play with the ones. So I'm just all in all excited about this football season. It's a journey. I'm glad to be settled now where I'm at, so I can get back to talking football because that's what we all love, man. We here to talk football, all things football, up and down the ladder. So I'm gonna go ahead and close it out. I just want to say thank you again for everybody that was here from the start, that does it out with us all the time, that leaves comments, leaves likes. All of that stuff matters. That helps us. That helps us on YouTube. What I'm saying? We're on Spotify as well. With our videos, Spotify, we're on Anchor. Like, we're trying to get this thing up. So like, we're gonna look into trying to any all other streaming sites that's out there. Y'all let us know sites that we're missing in the comments where people interact a lot. This year, I want to get into some live streaming so we can be live. Y'all can come. Y'all can come rock with us while we're live. You know what I'm saying? So all of that, man. So I just want to say thank you, bro. This is your boy Boom Bam Bunansky, aka Rick. This is me. You know what I'm saying? This is going for the gusto, man. This is the brand. Man, we're back. We're on the way, man. So y'all just stay tuned. We will have some heat coming for y'all, man. So I appreciate it, man. Peace.